It's the Amazing Jaburo Show, starring Amazing Z'Gok, Z'Gok Experiment, Acgguy, Juaggu, and Acggu. Wait a minute. Hello, and welcome to PlebPla. I do hope you're enjoying these little bits I do before the videos. I'm trying to do them uniquely for each and every review, but sometimes I just don't have ideas. Today's was a little squad-based. Today we are talking about the P-Bandai high-grade build fighters Amazing Z'Gok. Kinda looks a lot like a regular Z'Gok, doesn't it? It is. More or less it is. What you get in this P-Bandai box from the OVA Jim's Counterattack, or at least I'm fairly certain it was, it just says build fighters. Maybe it was a battle log episode. I'm pretty sure this showed up in Jim's Counterattack, probably. Very briefly, at best. What you get, of course, is the full color manual, because build fighters P-Bandai will always get full color manuals. Several runners, of which I've discarded. There were 3 1999 molded runners, and the thickness of those is just so peculiar. I would say use your most garbage nippers on those, because those runners come thick. I don't know if the plastic's any different between now and then, if they have a special blend of plastic that they use in the molds. But the shape and style of the molds, it was really, really thick trees. So bear that in mind if you get this kit in the future. It was 3 old 1999 molds, or runners, excuse me, and then 3 2017 runners in the more modern, softer ABS-ish plastic. I keep this runner in particular because it's a P-Bandai that builds on the original Z'Gok, with some extra things that I will get to very soon. However, they produced a mold which had extra parts, which is fine because you get 2 C runners, and these runners over here, I will go ahead and zoom in on these right here. These are duplicate parts. However, while it used everything else on the runner, what it fails to use is this part in the middle of my hand right here, and in just a moment we will transition to the review camera. This one piece on 2 runners serves 0 purpose whatsoever for anything this model uses. No extra parts for the original Z'Gok, no extra parts for the new Amazing Z'Gok pieces. These over here are inner frames, which the arms themselves work on a new system compared to the old 1999 model, which I don't actually own. But the body part is different, in which I will show you here. It's the original inside body. As you see, it's got the old ball joints for both torso and head. But that's a useless piece I wanted to keep for display purposes. Here you are, Mr. Original Z'Gok. Entirely the same. 110% exactly the same as the original Z'Gok. It has already been modified. I know the action base 4 and 5 completely negate the need for drilling holes, but I choose to do so because I'm a crazy person and I need to have consistency with all of my stands, or at least those that get stands. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you. So, the reason why I actually have other boys out here to show off, 2 of them are just there to be part of the bit. The original, or the Amazing Z'Gok, has replaceable arms. The arms in which you buy this kit for, let's see how quickly I can actually do this on camera, or at all, is completely different arms. Completely different arms. Oh boy. No, we're keeping it. We're doing it live. I haven't messed with this since the Sunday that I built it. There is a local gunpla group that meets up every Sunday here in Austin, Texas. And I was actually able to completely build this model in one sitting, much to my surprise. So once I finish this here, I will stop stammering and get back to the review itself. But hey, tension, surprises. What we get here, now that our Z'Gok is armless, are the Amazing Z'Gok arms. These big, bulky bad boys have gray as opposed to super dark gray. Come on, focus. Do the focus. Stop focusing on the guy that's not on screen. There you go. Different colors. Essentially, it's the same sort of build. It is what I will show you here in just a moment once I plug these boys in. I'm going to plug in what the manual calls Ag mode. What is it, Acgguy? I forget. One of those is a drill, the other one is the heat rod whips. And on the other side, which I think is a little disappointing, but hey, that's why, you know what? You have a purpose. Juaggu, get in here. For this arm, they call Juaggu mode because them big bulky cannons right there. Not because of a trunk that seems like it should be a flamethrower, but I played a whole lot of Mega Man X. Go over there, you're falling down. So, come on, play nice. Okay, so, with your boy on screen, it comes with enough parts so that both arms, they have three, oh, there we go. Come on now, play nice. 3 cannon bits, and there's a total of 4 heat whips, and the instructions say, oh, put 2 heat whips on each arm, but I'm going for the asymmetry here, so I'm using all 3. Back into the box. Not the void. The void is where we banish things we don't like. This guy with these badass arms, I do like him. So, the reason why I bring some of these fellas out here, here's the Acgguy. Those of you that are familiar with the Acgguy or the Bear Guy in any of its iterations, you are familiar with the segmented polycap sort of bending or lack thereof that you get in both the arms. The comparison to make here is this Z'Gok also operates on a similar system where you get some flexibility, mostly in both of the arms, and similarly so in the legs. You do get an elbow and a knee joint, and that is the other point in which I am making a comparison to is, stand aside, ha 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 jokes, the Z'Gok experiment from, I believe it's around somewhere between 2004 and 2006. I didn't do my research beforehand. I have my mental notes. What this boy has here is this joint here, an elbow joint. Come on, focus, please. However, what is very different in the segmentation of the arms that I want to show you is each of these are individual plates that you can spin and twirl mounted on a post, which is similar for both the arms, oh, pardon me, and the legs. Whereas the Amazing Z'Gok, you know, mostly a 1999 model, you know, focuses mostly on the articulation. It's an articulation between the two. You have the segments here, similar to the Acgguy's arms, but then you also have a full knee and a full elbow bend, of which both get about 90 degrees apiece, you know, regardless of which set of arms you're using. The third mode that the manual explains, which I find to be incredibly disappointing, and I don't own this model, despite that I seem to have an affinity for aquatic mobile suits, especially the ZEONs, is the Z'Gok mode here, in which these are supposed to be heat blades that I fathom can be launched or thrown from the Z'Gok, but these are fixed in on joints. You only get that much articulation, and during assembly you really have to like mash these boys in hard, and while I was doing so I could see stress marks on this plastic as I did so. It was very, very worrying. Harrowing is the word I was looking for, not horrifying, harrowing. The feet have a rather good range of motion. You get a lot of jam in there. The head has no articulation whatsoever. I've deliberately put the sticker offset because that's how I roll. The torso has a very limited left and right. Unless you pull up on it a little bit, then you can get a full, what's that? I'm trying to make a bad joke here. You get a full twist on there, and you get a really awesome ab crunch, which, in my experience, not a lot of my kits that I own have this ab crunch. Even the Z'Gok has an amazing ab crunch. Very good. There are an entirety of 2 decals, 2 stickers on this, here in the chest and the mono eye, which, you know, that's pretty amazing for a P-Bandai Build Fighters kit. Only 2 stickers. Everything else here is, you know, the old original Z'Gok mold. I genuinely feel like I had more to say about this. I don't think I did. I think most of my motivation here was, you know, you can go and see a more modern and more detailed review of this, but they only talk about this kit itself, and I really wanted to make the comparison between the, not the manufacturing, but I guess the design techniques between the Z'Gok E and the Acgguy and the arm and leg mechanics. I would assume mechanics and movability. This is still a relatively fair-priced P-Bandai kit if you can get your hands on one. I myself, along with the P-Bandai Gundam X Jumao, picked these up on Nippon Yasan. It's the only place that I've been able to find that has these kits. But I've heard this, that, and the other about them. So as with any online seller, buy at your own risk. And with that, I'm incredibly excited to move on to my next project now that I've filmed this one. I appreciate all of y'all sticking around through my stammering and rambling for this review. And as always, ZEON.